Welcome back, folks. I was just messing around with some of the yellow PLA Pro from 3D Creator, and was trying some fun prints from the internet, like the Devilman hand, and checking out some of the settings, like printing with a 0.3 layer height instead of 0.2, and trying a little bit lower temperature. I think here it's at only 200, where I'd been using 214 before, but with the closed print chamber or build chamber, it's been working really good, and seems to be producing really nice solid prints. So I also was messing around with an idea I wanted to do a while ago, which is make a little tiny mini monitor for the little OLED displays, so it would look like a little computer. And my whole goal is to make a super tiny make it look like a little tiny 8-bit computer on a desktop. So I'm just going to jump ahead here, and we'll have a look at that in a second. But let's have a look here. Actually, it's just about finished doing the hand here. I recorded it in steps, and then it should be finished printing. You see there's only a little bit of stringing at the finish. Very, very fine wisps of string between the fingers. So I think the heat's pretty darn good at that setting. So all the settings were the same as the white PLA Pro, or Pro PLA from 3D Creator, just a little bit lower temperature this time, and it came out really, really well. Once I got it off the printer, it was actually pretty good. I was kind of impressed with how it came out at 0.3 layer height, and it was not too bad. It wasn't hardly any stringing between the fingers. I thought there was going to be some, and the fingernails on the hand didn't melt, or at least not anywhere near as bad as I thought they would, where the index and middle finger were getting to be some pretty small print times there. And I was expecting some melting, but actually came out pretty good for the little Fabricator Mini. Got a few things I want to do regarding the base or the build plate for the Fabricator Mini, but I'm still waiting some parts to come in from overseas. Basically some copper-clad PCB boards that I'm going to use them stacked, and I'm going to make it so the top one actually comes out, so I'll actually have a easily removable print bed in my Fabricator Mini. At least I hope that's the plan. And as you can see here, I was playing around with the lights. Now, I recorded audio for this segment a couple times, and every time it seemed to be I forgot to turn off the background audio, and either text messages or something would come blaring through, or some other thing goes and ruined it. So I'm redoing the audio here, so if it doesn't seem to really match what's going on as I'm playing around with the hand here and the lighting, I was trying one of my different floodlights, and it's hard to really show, but then actually when you stop to think about it, the reason why the yellow was washing out is it's an incredibly bright yellow. This PLA, I was actually filming in the early morning for most of this. There wasn't much light in the house, and when I turn on my really bright white LEDs, it was very bright. Then I realized I didn't really have any pictures of the purple-pink thermal PLA, so you can see I did a version of the hand on the ring there, and it showed the pink to purple. And then I wanted to get on to trying something that was a little bit more technical, so I was printing the faceplate to my OLED monitor. And basically what I was doing is taking the old OLED, I modeled it in Tinkercad, and then wanted to make a faceplate that would make it look like an old computer monitor front. I think it came out not too bad. You're going to see here in a bit, it's just doing the inside of the faceplate. Actually, it's printing with the top up, and it's putting some support support structure in the middle, because I find I get a really good top finish with this printer if I do that. In fact, this PLA was coming out very smooth, so I think here we are about that was about 7 layers from finishing the top, and then here we see it buttoning up the back of the monitor cabinet side. And it was doing some bridging there which bowed in, but it still didn't matter because the final finish was pretty smooth back there. Turned out pretty good actually. I'm going to refine this part a little bit. I made the mistake of wanting the wires to come down through the pedestal because I was probably going to wire it down through a fake computer cabinet to an Arduino Pro Mini or an Arduino Nano. But here you're going to see the design files where I was working with in Tinkercad. And the final product here is just taped together. Unfortunately, the tape just wasn't sticking to the PLA very well. But I was running the graphic demo screen. I think it was the Adafruit graphic demo. I'm not sure which one at this moment, but there was a couple libraries that I had. And one of the things with the file is I had to do a couple of revisions because, as you know, the PLA shrinks a little bit, and I also found there were some slight differences from one version of the OLED screen to another. And on top of that, there's also an issue of 2 screens that I had from 2 different supplies where the ground and the VCC pins were flipped. The I2C pins were the same, but the grounds were flipped. And again, here you see I'm trying to hold the tape. The tape would let go after a while because I had the DuPont wire coming out the bottom into that foam block, and still there was enough pressure on the screen because I hadn't bent the header pins down enough yet. But when I get it done, I'll glue it in. But you can see it's running through the little graphic demo there pretty darn good, and it looks like a tiny little monitor. I might do a version with that button painted, done in a different color plastic, or in this case I'm probably just going to paint it. It looked pretty good, and it worked all right for what I was going for. You can see some earlier iterations of the front bezel or front faceplate. One of them fits the what I'm going to call the non-standard brand very well, and that was done in the purple-pink thermal up there, and that's replacing the screen that was on my laser engraver. And I used one of the scrap ones that kind of failed below as a stand for it for the moment until I get a chance to print something a little bit better. And in the back is my custom Nano and Easy Driver controller for that laser engraver. Well, looks like it was working pretty good there. As usual, the tape let go again. But really all it is just the OLED screen that has been stuck into the back of the plastic front bezel. You're going to see here, I think I got a couple pictures of that. And I'm probably just going to make it so it's hot glued in so I can open it up or whatever and change it in the future. Anyways, if you have any questions or comments, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.